Wire in the way. Hello! Hello! Hello. Welcome on in, folks. And Fubar Jr., thank you for the follow. Right up at the top of the stream. Very nice. Welcome on in. Hope everybody's having a good Monday or Tuesday if you live in the future, like Klaus. And I hope everybody's having a good evening or morning or afternoon or wherever, whatever time it is and whatever various time zone you happen to be in. Covered all my bases. All right. So we're moving on. We're carrying on with the more HeroQuest content. Yeah, Future Boy in the house. For more HeroQuest content, we've got our second Gargoyle sculpt here. And I'm pretty excited about this one because not only is it a Gargoyle, but it is also used by a lot of players, and it's kind of like designed to be. Oh, thank you very much, sir. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. I hope you enjoy the YouTube videos. You have to tell me which ones you watched. I'm going to try to post some more. I've been trying to really buckle down and paint these guys, so that's what I've been focusing on, but more videos are on the way. But this guy also represents the demon form for the Warlock hero. So, I've got the Warlock here. This is her. She is a halfling, or a gnome. I think she's a gnome in the HeroQuest lore. And she can transform into this demon. And you can sort of see the transformation happening on her arm. I did it sort of as a glowing green flame coming out of coming out of her hand, that sort of thing. So here's my plan. I got her there as a reference for color reference because I think the bulk of the body is going to be this sort of dark blackish gray, and then he's got fur. It kind of looks like it's sculpted on, like he's still made of stone, but I'm not going to force that this time. The fur I'm going to do in red, like her other part of her dress. And then what I'm going to try to do, mind you, he's got a lot of cracks in his body and in his skin. I'm going to try to do that as sort of like a glowing green energy, like sort of just below the skin is like, you know, it's got glowing green energy in it. That's the idea, at least. So I'm going to try a little something. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot up top. And I'm going to paint around it. But I'm just going to give it a try. And then I'll finish the rest of it with this later, after I finish the skin. But I'm going to try using some white ink to get into the cracks. And then I'm going to use Caranderous green to go in there and create sort of a glowing green effect around it. But right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to see if that white ink goes in the crevices like I want it to. So I'm putting a little bit on my palette. Get a teeny tiny little brush here. So I'm keeping it on my wet palette because I want it to stay fairly thin. So that worked pretty well. Yeah, I'm starting with the chesticles. That looks, I mean, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. Is I wanted that bright white to go into the crack. And then the green is going to go on top of it. But I just wanted to see if it was going to apply the way I wanted it to. And it does. So that's awesome. So let's go ahead and do the skin. And we're going to do that. We're not going to use just a straight black because he's already black. So we don't need that for our shadows. I believe you can change it in your, like, account settings or something. But I'm not sure, green. It is available in the Prophecy of Telor expansion, Fubar. I got this particular one from the Mythic box, Mythic tier box from a HasLab campaign. But you can get it in the Telor expansion. They released it now into the wild for everyone. There is a way. I believe it is in your, I believe it's in your Twitch settings, though. I don't know which ones. So I'm mixing Wizard Gray and Doom Death Black. Okay. And we're going to do mostly black, because we want to create sort of an off black here. We don't want to get too bright on this gray, because we are going to go places from here. So this is sort of like a 3-to-1 mixture. And we're going to do most of the skin this color. I'm not worrying too much about going over that white that I just painted, because I'm going to reapply it probably. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so the fur just goes on the wrists. I was trying to see if the fur went on the all the way on the wrists or on the claws, or all the way on his like hands as well. And you're probably not seeing too much of a difference here between this this color and the black prime coat that's on there. And that's fine, because you guys are... Oh, the Gregorian chant. We're going to change that in just a second. Hydrate. Sorry, Gregorian champ. I just saw Klaus. The paint's not named after me. I believe the Gray Wizard or Wizard Gray is named after Gandalf the Grey. Though if somebody wants to create Wizard Blue, more power to them. I did game my name after the paints. That is correct. So technically, the Blue Wizards did come to Middle-earth before Gandalf. Yes, indeed. Fubara Jr. Well, it's funny that you should mention that, Green. There's no green wizards in Tolkien's world either. The only wizards that Tolkien had originally envisioned were Gandalf, Saruman, and Radagast. But when he was writing, he alluded to the 5 wizards, and he was like, oh, there are 2 blue ones, obviously. But he hadn't really thought about too much about them. In a couple of his letters, he wrote about them. He wrote that the blue wizards went east with Saruman when they first came to Middle-earth. Their mission was to disrupt the followers of Sauron in the east and cause dissension amongst them. And originally, he thought that they failed and that they were the cause of many magic cults that came up in the east. But later on, as he wrote about them, he believes that they must have succeeded, and that's why the men of the east, who vastly outnumbered the men of Numenor and the west, did not fail in their battle with Sauron. Yeah, see what you got there, green, is Radagast. Radagast the Brown. He was all about animals and woodland creatures. Alright, so next up we're going to do a little bit of a mid-tone. And we're mixing 1 part wizard gray with 1 part black. Completely neglecting the face. That's my bad. I'll go back over it in just a second. I think I was just focusing on the body because I'm thinking about the GG. Okay. Have fun, Klaus. Sure. Yeah, I guess he could be brown and green in your own head canon. But yeah, he was the brown wizard. He was a Maya of Yavanna. Yavanna? I can't remember her name. I think it was Yavanna. Who was the Valar of nature. I don't know my Valar well enough. That's a shortcoming on my part. Let's handle that face real quick. Oh, good. I have the sound alerts on to keep me alert, keep me on my toes, you know. Actually, I have them because when I used to play games on this channel, mostly I did them just for fun. I could take them off, I guess, but people seem to like them, so I'll leave them. And it's something to spend your experience points on. Which is what I call my little Twitch grunglies. The little thingies that you accumulate. That's right. I called them Twitch grunglies because I don't know what else to call them. And anything that I don't know what it is, it's a grungly. A little bit more black. There we go. Probably thin this down a little bit too much. There we go. Yeah, when I was doing it on my palette, it was going clear. Well, like, we don't want to glaze. We want a little bit of body to this here paint. It's funny, I feel like all of these, both of these Gargoyles, these past two streams, the base color is very boring. Because, like, the base color on the other one was gray. And this one, it's just black. And the red will come along soon. But I just think it's very funny that they're both pretty basic, like, dark colors. Sort of a snooze ball. I'm just trying to avoid getting these lighter shades into the shadows too much. Okay. Alright. Now we'll move on to our first highlight in the skin, which is just going to be straight up wizard gray. No mixing. I don't want too much of this paint on my brush. I also don't want to drop my paintbrush. Catching up with the chat. Crustacean lives by the sea. His or her wizard robes are seafoam green or turquoise. I like that. Gargoyles rock. Yes, they do. Thank you. That was I too appreciate that pun. Some schmutz on my brush. I have not seen Apollo the Parrot. Are we celebrating victory for Apollo the Parrot? Good. Sounds like he deserves it. I'm just doing the, like the... I don't know what you call them exactly. The wing finger things. You know, the bony parts of the wing. Doing those first. Just so I have a clear line of demarcation between them.
Now we are ready to head for the horn away.
They are fingers. Thank you for the thank you, Green. Yeah, I have a lot of shanties and nautical themed music for whatever reason on this playlist. This is just a pretzel playlist. I wish I had something better. This is all I got for the time being.
Take your hands from your pockets and don't suck your thumbs to me. Rollicking randy dandy oh. Heave-a pull, oh heave away, away, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and our cable is stored to me. Rollicking randy.
And I want to go for like sort of a. I much prefer like a folky sort of like fantasy feel in music to like the to like an EDM or like a heavy metal sort of like playlist. Not that I've got anything against that kind of music. It's just, you know, not the vibe that I'm going for here.
We're outward bound for Valley Po Bay. Way, hey, roll and go. Get cracking, me lads, 'tis a hell of a way to me. Rollicking randy dandy oh. Heave-a pull, oh heave away. Away, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and our cable is stored to me. Rollicking randy dandy oh.
Fingers. My music playlist. Well, it's a playlist created by Pretzel Rocks, which is a music streaming service. It's supposed to be like stream safe. Keeps you from getting DMCA'd. But even though it's supposed to be stream safe, I still have to like go through and like dispute like copyright claims on YouTube and Twitch. So it's not perfect, but had to go through and say, listen, I have permission to use this. Because I do, because Pretzel has me, like, since I subscribe to it, they have me, like, listed as, like, or my channel's listed as, like, you know, approved or whatever. So, it's a hassle, but, you know, this is the world we live in now. Thank you, buddy. Hi, Travis. How you doing? It's not true, but I appreciate that you say it. All right, let's add one final highlight. And we're only going to apply this to the fleshy bits of the wings in, like, a few choice places. Because we want to make the wings seem like, not necessarily see-through, but a little more, like, veiny skin-wise. They won't be veiny because this is a monster. Never mind. It's a stone-ish monster. So we're going to mix ash gray and wizard gray. Adding a little more paint because it's a little too thin. I know you're tired, buddy. I know you're tired. I wish you could have taken a nap like you said you were going to. And the cracks are going to be glowing green. Green. And the reason for that is because this is the demonic form for the Warlock hero. So she is very like green energy coded. So that's what we're gonna do green. So this is her. Yeah. So this is her. And we're gonna follow this color scheme. The fur on this guy is gonna be red. And he's gonna have glowing green energy in his body. So it's gonna look like, you know, he's being held together by this fell magic or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Okay, I think that's all all the highlighting we're gonna do here. She does get huge, yes. Alright, now it's time for the bit that I've never ever done before. So wish me luck, everyone. If I miss some, I'm not going to lose any sleep. I want to get most of it. It's a bit of intense focus here, just trying to pick out some of the cracks here. Also going to avoid getting in any of the bits of fur if I can, because I've got to paint that fur. And also in my mind, the fur is kind of like going to cover up most of the energy or whatever. And as you can see on the back of his wings and stuff like that, there's tons of cracks and junk. I thank you. Thank you for the luck wished. You see the ink kind of like just gets in those cracks and just hangs out, you know? Which is great, which is why I'm using the white ink. I've had this white ink for a while. I like to use it with airbrushing when I want to apply a zenithal highlight, which, if you don't know, is when you have a black primed model, you apply a directional, well, a white or gray, like spray over it. You don't flood the model or mini with white. You create sort of a directional lighting effect, and then you can go over that with a thin paint and have automatic highlights. Or you can just use it as sort of a reference if you're planning on going through with your regular painting method. And it does change up things a little bit, but on a board game like HeroQuest, I didn't do it because that's a lot of minis that I have to zenithal. And if I zenithal one, I gotta zenithal all of them, just so they're consistent with that across the board. It's just a slight difference you can tell when you're looking at them, or I would be able to tell. Most normal human beings probably wouldn't be able to tell. I most certainly can. And I'm just like, and I really don't want to put myself through that. So this stuff is working pretty damn well. What do I think the Warlock does to transform? Well, the Gargoyle kind of looks like stone. So what I'm guessing is that it just uses natural materials from around her and sort of merges her with, like, the stone around her and gives her extra mass, but it's magic. It doesn't really have to obey the laws of conservation of mass. Okay. I mean, that looks pretty cool by itself. Ooh, that's cool. I like that, the sandstone and vines things. I mean, it already looks kind of cool with the white. But next up comes the glowing green. So this is going to be the part that I'm hoping comes out pretty nice. I'm gonna try just straight out. I don't know if I need to thin it.
And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love steer. Now my wife and I, we lives alone in a tumble-down cottage that we calls our own. She drinks gin and I drink rum, and together there don't we have fun. And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love steer. If I had a cow that would give such milk, I'd dress her up all in the finest silk, feed her on the best of hay, and I'd milk her 7 times every day. And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love steer. And if my brown jug it was in jail, I'd pawn me shirt and get it out on bail. If me friends did me despise, well, I'd up with me fist and I'd black their eyes. And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love steer. In comes the landlord, jovial and fat. He's got on his peaked feathered hat. He serves your beer till his cellar runs dry, and he don't give a damn if you live or die. And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love steer. Now the brewer brews it in the can, and the landlord serves it up in the pan. As for me, I'll do me part, and I'll keep strong ale next to me heart. And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love steer. And it's old brown ale, old brown beer, bonny little brown jug that I love steer.
Hey, Rabbit. I do have a wizard hat. Yep, exactly. The overspill is just going to be the green glow effect. I see a big crack that I missed here, and I want to get it. Just because it's on this side, and there's not a whole lot going on that side. I figured there also might be a crack on this side that I missed. Thank you. I will hydrate. How far into my HeroQuest pile have I painted? Well, I'm very nearly done with the base game and Keller's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord and the mythic tier bonuses. I also have done the archers for the goblins and the skeletons from the later expansions. I can't recall which ones off the top of my head. And I did the Goblin Shaman. I think that one's from Jungles of Delpharak. I've done all the heroes. Except for Wizards of Morcar. I haven't gotten Wizards of Morcar yet. But I've done all the other heroes. I just have primed and ready to go. I have the 6 Chaos Warriors, the 4 from the original, and the 2 from the Mythic tier. And then I have the Orc Archers that I neglected to paint when I painted my Orcs for some reason. And then I also have the Dragon from First Light. I am really looking forward to painting that one. That's the one that Green is talking about, the dragon that I'm excited to paint. Because I already painted Venom. I didn't do him on stream. But I painted Venom. The dragon from Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. A very glowy wing. I haven't done any of the furniture. Oh, and I also have the 4 mercenaries from Rise of the Dread Moon primed. And I'll probably paint them as well. Just because I think they're cool models. Or minis, rather. You don't assemble them in minis. So, I've got a pretty hefty HeroQuest pile done. I'm not gonna hit my goal, which my goal was to get all of my minis that I have primed and ready to go painted before Wizards of Morcar comes out. I might actually hit that goal now that I think about it. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. There you go. Some glowy gargoyle vibes. It's hitting a couple of spots where I see a little bit too much white coming through. Just because I think I didn't get good enough coverage there. But it looks pretty good, I think. While I'm here also, I'll do the eyes. Well, I'll do those in the way that I usually do eyes. I won't bother with that. But I'm going to do one more extra step here. We're going to take some ethereal green and trooper white. Whoop! And mix them together. And we're going to sort of create a little extreme highlight for the green here. Just for little points so that it doesn't all look samey. Thank you. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I know that feeling. I started working on my HeroQuest backlog, which was all of it, because I wanted to paint all of it, but it was all unpainted. I started it last year. And I just told myself, you know, I'm going to paint as much as I can. It's been a long time since I've painted on the regular, so I need to like keep my skills sharp, and this is the perfect way to do it. So I mix this together to create sort of this neon green. And we're going to use it just at certain points to bring out that glow. I can't take credit for this technique, by the way. This is something I saw on Instagram from a very talented painter by the name of Elementarista. He does a lot of stuff with these glowing effects. They're very, very cool. I've just always wanted to try it. So I thought this would be the perfect figure to test it on. And I did a video forever ago about about why you should paint your board games, and one of the reasons that I gave was it lets you experiment. And so here we are, experimenting. I really like the way that effect came out. I think it's cool. I like it. It's gonna look even cooler after we do the fur and the talons and stuff. Excuse me. My throat's a little dry. I probably need a hydrate streamer. Should you paint a chess set? I grabbed a Coke, I don't know when. If you want to. There's no reason why you shouldn't. If it's a nice chess set that you want to paint. I mean, like, they make, like, character chess sets. I gave my younger brother for Christmas. I gave him a Legend of Zelda, chess set. That would be a great one to paint. I did say you should paint your board games. I mostly meant you should paint your board game minis, but you could absolutely paint a chess set. Oh, we're using Berserker Red as our base red. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, I mean, if you just want to practice like base coding and highlighting, a bog standard chess set isn't a bad idea to paint. I know you were making a joke, but you actually made a good point. I mean, you could even paint your Catan meeples if you really wanted to. Though me personally, I think board games with minis are superior to meeples, but you know. I'll fight the meeple people. Give me a good game with minis any day of the week, and I will paint it with relish and play it with relish. Oh, I forgot to do the green on the sides again. I will get that in just a moment. Yeah. Yes, Travis, it would be very impressive and terrifying to eat a chess set. Mostly because I don't think they're generally intended to be eaten. Unless it's like made of cheese or something. Now, if you made a chess set out of cheese and ate it, I would be very impressed. Okay. Get the rest of the hair. Oh, a chocolate chess set? Oh, I could see a chocolate one too. So that would be kind of fun, actually, is have a chocolate chess set. And then when you play, every piece you take from your opponent, you eat. So you have a white chocolate side and a milk or dark chocolate side. And then every time you take an opponent's piece, you eat it. Maybe have some backup queens just in case you get a pawn to the other side. I could see chocolate dice. I could definitely see chocolate dice. Cheese dice might be a little bit more difficult. Just because cheese doesn't... I mean, I guess you could, like... I mean, I don't know too much about making cheese, but... like, if you make cheese in a mold... Could you make it in like a dice-shaped cheese mold? But chocolate dice I could definitely see. I think you could do it, Travis. Mostly because you have this this determination that you would figure it out. Or I suppose what you could do is you could get like melted cheese, pour it into a mold, a dice-shaped mold, and let it re-solidify. Because, I mean, that's what you'd have to do with the chocolate anyway. You just pour melted chocolate into a dice mold. Every time I hear this song, I think it's the PlayStation startup sound. Welcome back, Klaus. Hope your fence cutting went well. that's the wrong color. No, it's not the wrong color. Gotta add. I forgot. I have a straight up just regular color as a highlight. I had to add wizard gray to it. As I got a little bit of red on some spots. It's cool. We just paint over it. Alrighty. That's the first coat of red on here. Okay. Hey, Faye. I have. This is our second gargoyle. This is the transformation. For the warlock. So we are keeping the same color scheme. Roughly. Alright, our next color is going to be Sanguine Scarlet. We're going to mix that with the Berserker Red. Create sort of a mid-turn. I don't know why I said it like that, but... thank you, Klaus. Appreciate it. Glad you think it looks good. I think it's coming along nicely. A little bit more of this. My palette. running the edge of my brush over the higher parts here, trying to avoid the recessed areas of this hair. I don't want to flood my shadows. There's a lot going on in the chat. I didn't know that about the collab with Games Workshop for the Gundam game. Green. I knew that it was coming out. I didn't know that. Realize it was supposed to be a collab. Because GW doesn't usually collab with people on that sort of thing. They don't really need to. The only licensed property that they really still make is the Lord of the Rings, the Middle-earth strategy battles. It'd be cool if they got the Gundam license, but I don't think they would need to. Did not know that. But I could definitely see Bandai saying, actually we want to do it ourselves. Because they make plenty good minis on their own. How could I just... Alright. This is one of those moments where you realize that you completely forgot to paint a part of the mini. I don't know if that ever happens to you. It happens to me quite a few times. Realize the back of these legs here, that's fur on the back of the legs that I just completely ignored. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? Interesting. That will be interesting to see what happens with that, because, I don't know, I guess Gundam kind of fits with Games Workshop. I mean, they collabed with, like, when they collab, they usually collab with, non-miniatures related stuff. Because, like, they did those, Magic the Gathering, Commander decks. I mean, they do video games and stuff like that all the time. But I mean, like, for miniatures? Yeah, you'll get hit with one eventually. The way I've got it set up is that you get longer stretches of content and more ads, or not more ads, just like you get longer stretches of content, and then when you get hit with an ad break, it's a little bit of a longer ad break. That's all. I try to do it so that it's not completely, like, you know, oppressive. I don't want you to get hit with an ad every 5 seconds. That would not be fun for you. Or me, because people would be like, ah, fuck this. I'm not gonna watch this guy. Yeah, there's definite Gundam influence with the Tau. It might be apocryphal, but if I recall correctly, the whole, like, idea behind, like, the design of the Tau was to try to get in Japanese model kit builders. Because they were trying to attract that crowd. So, that may or may not be true. That's just what I've heard on the internet, so take it with a grain of salt. This isn't my outro music, actually. Same band, though. Well, I'm going and hitting these side things with a little bit of this light green.
Seen my pretty maid, they calls her our Mary. Her work's as busy as a bumblebee, and Farmer Jones is dairy. And don't she make they dumplings noise? Be Jove, I means to try 'em. And ask her if she'd like to wed with a country chap like I am.
Alright. Next, we're just going to use the Sanguine Scarlet. Thank you. Thank you, Travis. Travis is always easy with the compliments. For those who are new to the stream, Travis is a real life actual friend of mine, and also just all around. He's the Diffin Dice guy, just an all around great guy. So if he says something really weird and real weird and a little, and you would think, uh-oh, how's he gonna react to that? I'm probably just gonna laugh at it. And also, he makes his own content. He is a dice maker. He makes dice with dice. He's much more popular than I am. You should follow Diffin Dice on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you consume your content. Genuinely entertaining, amazing human being. I'd love to come to New Zealand. I want to go to Hobbiton. Travis is the friend that got me the 3D printer. I didn't ask him for it. Ah, thank you. Thank you for explaining the joke. Oh, thank you, Alec. Yeah, it's looking pretty damn good. I like how it's turning out. Believe it or not, we're close to being done with it. I did give Travis a painted miniature of himself as a tiefling. I did do that. I made a HeroForge mini of him. And Alec, too. That's Crayall. My other best bud. I gave them both HeroForge minis designed after their preferred D&D classes and races. That was my Christmas gift to them the year before last. Yeah, I think that's a cool thing to do for, I think that's a cool thing to do for any mini painter for your friends, especially if you've got like friends who do like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. You can always paint their miniatures for them, but I mean, I'm not sponsored by HeroForge or anything. But if they want to come sponsor me, I'll take a sponsorship, HeroForge. I'll take it, but design a mini for them based off of like their character or their or themselves, and paint it up, send it to them. Again, not a sponsor. Hey, you guys want to know something hilarious? I realized there was a part of the part of fur that I forgot to paint. There's a fur on the tip of her tail. Completely missed it. Hilarious. I didn't even register it until just this moment. Okay, I'm thinking maybe one final highlight in the hair. Yeah, buddy, I know. Hey, I've been there, kinda. I don't know if you remember, but last year, around this time, actually, my wife was gone for a month and a half. And I was solo dad for a little while. So that was fun, but so I get it kinda. Oh my god. That's a long, I mean, it's a long flight, I imagine. Okay. Alright, I think we're gonna do one final highlight. Because if I'm not mistaken, I did one final highlight on this gal, too. Oh, we're gonna skip Old Lang Syne, I'm sorry. It's not New Year's. Hydrate. Ugh. Green. Why is it making me hydrate? I'm out of water now. Hope you're happy. I'll get some more in a minute. So what I did last time, I'm pretty sure, is I mixed some ice yellow with my Sanguine Scarlet to create the final highlight. So that is what we will do now. Ice yellow is a fantastic color. If you don't possess it in your mini painting arsenal, I highly recommend it. It is a perfect like accent color and mixing color for warm colors to create like highlights that don't get too washed out. And that same color may go by other names and other paint sets, but I use ice yellow from the Army Painter. Not a sponsor, but again, I would shill for the Army Painter as well. If they want to sponsor me. So I'm probably not going to use too much of this highlight, mostly just because I don't want this red to get too wild. Because red is a very eye-catching color. For some reason, humans, when they see red, their eyes are just like... back here with this highlight, because that would make sense that it would be back here. All right, like Jiminy Paints, thank you for the raid, sir, and welcome back. Welcome back, Jiminy Paints. We are painting another gargoyle. This one's completely different from the first one. Alrighty. So now we're going to do the horns and the claws. We're going to do those in a bone color. And that's going to actually, like, call back to this little, like, khaki-ish color from her. How you doing, Jiminy Paints? Let's go with the shout out. Hang on, I always do this with a paintbrush in my mouth, so I'll do it this time too. That's right. Alright. Ba-bam. A relic blade, Minnie. Ooh, cool. Very cool. Do it, Klaus. Paint it. I actually have something that'll share with all of you. This is something that I've been sitting on for a while that I'm going to paint at some point and send to Travis for him to do something with. And he knows about it, so this isn't a surprise for him. But I purchased this mini a long time ago. This is a Demi-Lich mini. I'm going to paint it up and send it to him to do something with it. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and do our bone colors. We're going to start with Dust Bowl. Welcome on in, Raiders. We are painting up some gargoyles. We were painting up gargoyles last time that Jiminy raided the stream. We finished that gargoyle. I'll go grab it in a minute and show everybody what we did. We're starting off the bone colors with Dust Bowl. And this is going to be on the fingernails, the claws here. You guys probably want to see what I'm doing, I imagine. And we also got to do these horns up here. I could do them black, but I kind of want to make them stand out a little bit. Ah, sorry, I didn't itch on my nose there. Okay. Yes, we're boning. We're making bone colors. You know I love me some skeletons. We're also gonna do the teeth here. I think I'll save the teeth for last because I'm gonna do the little claws here on the wings. But I think I'm gonna need to bust out the sexy gogs for the teeth. Kind of small. Speaking of my love of skeletons, me and Travis have been playing a lot of World of Warcraft recently. And something I was interested in, and I actually found a guide to do this on the internet, strangely enough. I wasn't looking for it, it sort of found me. But something I might try at some point is apparently there is a way that you can take your models, or take 3D models from games and turn them into resin miniatures. Now, it's a long and drawn out process from the guide that I read. And I would have to learn a little bit of Blender to do it. But I think it's an idea for a video. The whole process. Because when I was reading the guide, I was like, oh boy, this is a process. But apparently it can be done, and people have done it. There are physical representations of this being done. I don't know if you can do Johnny Silverhand. You might be able to. But, I mean... I don't know. Maybe. It probably wouldn't be nearly as detailed as you want them to be in a 3D print. But I saw, like I said, I read a full guide on how to do this. There was a long, protracted explanation, but could be an interesting video at some point. That is to say that I would do it, if I were to do it, I would probably do it with my World of Warcraft character, who is a skeleton. Which is why I brought up World of Warcraft to begin with. I probably should explain that segue better. But, yeah, he's an undead, so I could do it with that character, and turn him into a mini and paint him up. It'd be cool. If I can get it to work, figure it out. I have limited confidence in myself being able to figure it out, but you know. All right, Jiminy, take it easy. Have a good night. Yes, wow. Travis, wow. Hello, HCT XPJ6X9V over on YouTube. Thank you. All right. We're busting up the sexy gogs, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Here they are. I'm too sexy for these gogs. Too sexy for these gogs. Alright. This is so I can see the teeth.
So it stood 90 years on the floor. It was taller by half than the old man himself, though it weighed not a penny weight
its pendulums swing to and fro. Many hours had he spent while a boy. And in childhood and manhood the clock seemed to know, and to share both his grief and his joy. For it struck 24 when he entered in the door, with a blooming and beautiful bride. But it stopped short, never to go again, when the old man died. 90 years without slumbering, tick-tock, tick-tock, his life seconds numbering, tick-tock, tick-tock, but it stopped short, never to go again, when the old man died. My grandfather said that of those he could hire, not a servant so faithful he
It's
found.
sexy. Yeah, I don't want to.
Wasted no time, and had but one desire, at the close of each week to be wound. For it
I don't want to get
kept
DMCA'd.
a frown upon its
Well.
face, and its hands never hung by his side.
Yeah, I agree, Green. I like this song.
Never to go again, when the old man died.
Yes, I'm just gonna call you HCT. I like I love these things because when you get or when you need to look at something very tiny, they help. I call them sexy gogs, but I can't take credit for that. That is a Ninjon original from YouTube. He was the one who called them sexy gogs, and I purchased these because he recommended them on one of his videos, and I've just always called them sexy gogs ever since. All right. So, yeah, that's okay. I can call you anything what you want. Fubar, thank you very much for coming in. Have a good night. I stream on Mondays and Thursdays around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time usually. So next time you're on, next time you come around, I'll probably be streaming one of those days. Just don't call me late for dinner. That's funny. Alrighty. Okay. Let me think. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do the next layer. So we've got Dragon Fang. That's our next color. Have a good night, Fubar. Thanks for hanging out, man. And thank you for the follow. Yes, future man. We know, Klaus. It's gonna leave the sexy gogs on, ladies and gentlemen. So try not to be too overwhelmed by the sexyfulness that you're seeing in real time. This mini is for HeroQuest. It's a board game. It was originally released in the 1980s. And they did a new version in 2021. And this is from a special campaign that Hasbro used to back the new version. It was like a Kickstarter type deal, but it was a HasLab campaign, and I backed it when it was announced because I love HeroQuest. I played the original version. It was my dad's, and I loved it as a kid and adult. Wanted my own, and wanted to be able to keep playing it for years to come. It was one of the few times, one of the few things that my dad and I did together that I think he enjoyed just as much as me. Because I wasn't into sports. Yeah, old Joe Hasbro. Small indie game company, you know. Definitely needed a Kickstarter campaign to bring back a game from the 1980s. I think it was mostly just to gauge people's interest. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like Hasbro. You'd think if you were scalping something, you want to scalp it for less. But, you know, that would be crazy. Yeah, you probably have HCT. It's a you can generally find it at most you find the base set at most game stores now. Our next one is Skeleton Legion. I think this will probably be our last highlight of this bone color. And the original version from the 80s was created in a collaboration. This is sort of harkening back to an original chat that we had with Games Workshop and Milton Bradley, which isn't around anymore. They wanted to get more people into Warhammer, effectively. So they wanted to create a board game yeah, they wanted to create a board game that was set in the Warhammer universe. And that was accessible to basically like younger people and people who weren't like going to buy like a ton of models and stuff like that. But the idea was just to give them a taste, you know? The first hit's free, that sort of thing. And it was set in the Warhammer Old World setting, the Warhammer Fantasy Battle setting at that time. And it had Chaos Warriors and Femurs and all that stuff. And it was a huge hit for a while. But eventually they stopped supporting it. And it kind of disappeared. And Games Workshop went on to make Warhammer Quest, which was its own thing. So, but yeah, it's a very cool little game that got a lot of people into Warhammer. I was one of them. I never played the Warhammer game, but the Fantasy Battles game, but it got me into the universe, that's for sure. So. They also released sort of a game with Milton Bradley that was kind of like Babby's first Warhammer Fantasy Battle. It was called Battle Masters. It used a lot of the same models as original Warhammer, but instead of being an open field, they had a giant hex-based map that you would use and move your pieces along. Instead of just rolling d6s, you were rolling basically the same kind of dice you roll in HeroQuest. So it was designed to be kind of like, you know, hey, we heard you liked HeroQuest. Would you like to try some Warhammer in your HeroQuest? So, very fun. Alrighty. I think that's going to be it for the bone. And then we're going to do the eyes, which we will still need sexy gogs for the eyes. Of course. I'm going to get ash gray on my palette. Alright, here comes the very fun part. It's in there. All right. Whew. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that game you're talking about, HCT. Sorry, that is HeroScape. That was also developed by Milton Bradley originally. Sorry. I've got some Coke here. I'm shaking my table. HeroScape was a game developed again by Milton Bradley. It was you could build your own battlefields and stuff like that. I played that too when I was younger. It had like warriors from all over time and stuff like that. The story behind it was that I think they were all like sent to like Valhalla or something, because they were like Valkyries and stuff like that. And yeah, we played that too. It's a very, very cool squad-based game. They brought it back again as well, though it was not as well received. They changed the art style a little too much for some folks, and yeah. But still supported. You can still go out and buy a starter pack of a HeroScape, and yeah. I did say Valhalla. HeroScape is set in Valhalla, I believe. Alright. Okay, and the last thing to do for the eyes is to make them glow green. And we're just taking that same Karandra screen that we used for the crags and stuff like that, and sticking it in there. And that gives them green eyes. Alrighty. Well. I believe we're going to call this one done. So with that, I'm going to take off my sexy gogs. And I'm pretty pleased with that. Wrists, you know? Ah. So yeah, there we go. Done and dusted. All right. Thank you very much. Well, I don't need them anymore, Klaus. I'm sorry. So I will go grab the other gargoyle that we finished last week, just for comparison's sake, and also for the folks who were here last time to watch the Gargoyles. So this was our Gargoyle last stream on Thursday, and we went with more of a stone weathered kind of dealio. And this guy is definitely more demon than stone, but he's also supposed to be the demon form for the warlock hero, which is this gal right here. So she turns into him. Or her, I guess, if you think about it that way. But yeah. So very cool. I really, really like the way this this turned out. I think the green, like, veins of magic really add a whole lot of character to it. That along with just the color scheme of it, the reddish, it's more of a brownish red, so it doesn't like go crazy in your face, but it's still red, so, but it doesn't, like, you know, go crazy. The red does really pop, and it makes the rest of the model, like, you know, less samey, I think. I say model. I didn't assemble it. I just, you know, painted it. It's a mini, not a model. But yeah, super, super stoked about this one. I think that, I think it's gonna look great on the board. And this guy right here, equally excited about him. He was still, he's still cool looking. I mean, you know, he's got his big ass axe, and we did some weathering on the metals, and he's got, you could probably see it, but like the weathering on the wings and stuff like that to make him look like, you know, a stone gargoyle that's been sitting out for a while. So he's got this sort of a mossy green and the cracks of his stone body. But yeah, and they're very different looking figures, so I really like that too. But I mean, it does look like it, but it's over his wing. He's got a convenient hole where his other wing is. And I don't know if it's supposed to be a sword. I think because it's got like cracks in it. I think it's a piece of stonework that he like tore down and is using as a weapon. But yeah, this is sick. I am so pleased with the way that this technique came out. And for those who weren't here, and if you're interested in trying this out, no, this all paint. I guess technically the I used ink with the effect on with the glowing effect on the gargoyle, with this one right here, the demon. But it's all just paint with, you know, different varieties of paint. Some of them are effects paints, that sort of thing. But yeah, just paint. For those who don't know and who weren't here at the beginning of the stream, if you want to know what I used to do this effect, I use sort of a variation for El Minotaurista. He's a very popular painter on Instagram. He's very talented. He uses oil paints, which are very good at like spreading through a recess and like doing that thing. Okay, buddy. Enjoy your 8-hour coma. We're wrapping up here in a second, and then I'm gonna raid out to somebody on Twitch, and then I'll probably call it a night myself. I can't believe I just looked at the clock. It's almost 11:30 here. So I used white ink, acrylic ink, Thank you, buddy. You have a good night. I used white acrylic ink on the crevices, and this does a really good job of staying in the cracks and keeping that bright white color that you want. And then over that white ink, I used contrast paint, which is Carandra green. You could use whatever you wanted. If you wanted to do like a magma sort of thing, you could do that with like an orange. You could use red, you could use blue, you could use any contrast paint you want pretty much. And then once I finished that, I took these two colors, Ethereal Green and Trooper White, and mixed them together to create a sort of bright neon green. And then I used that neon green in just tiny little points, like where the two cracks like intersected, or where they hit like a high point on the figure, and just create a little dots of this to add little points of interest all around it, and it really helps break it up to like, so it's not just like the effects paints. But yeah, the wings look sick, the chest looks sick, and I'm just noticing, I'm gonna add just a couple more highlights here, just like literally I'm gonna add some wizard gray on the hooves. I just realized I didn't add any paint to the hooves. And I just need to add a little bit here at the bottom, at the front, I think. And that will just make it so that they have a little bit of dimension to them. Yeah, okay. Didn't touch the hooves at all. Yeah. So there we go. That's all we're gonna do. Yeah, thank you, HCT. It's not really a master's class, but I appreciate that. I stream Mondays and Thursdays from starting at around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm on Twitch and YouTube. I do both. But yeah, so you're welcome to come around the next time that I'm online. I'd love to have you. So, yeah. All right, well, that's that. I'm going to take us all on a little journey here. Meow. I'm going to go over here. Whoops. And we are going to look for someone to raid out to. Let's go to this screen right here. Thank you, Klaus. Glad you came in. You're always most welcome in the stream. Thanks for hanging out with us. Vinny Vine Sauce. Who is that? What are they doing? Oh, very funny gamer. I generally want to try. I'm going to try to read out somebody who's painting, if I can. Just try to keep it in the hobby category, generally. Oh, hey, here's another person painting HeroQuest. Gareth Friedmar. They're painting Frozen Horror. Their desk is a mess, but let's take a look. You're hearing the ad right now. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get our. I'm gonna queue up my. There we go. Queuing up my exit song. Oh, I can't. I'm gonna take a listen, guys. Oh, appreciate that, Klaus. Thank you, HCT. I have been the Blue Wizard, and I will continue to be the Blue Wizard. So let's see. Let's take a listen here.
That place. Yeah. Get sunburned somewhere embarrassing. Yeah. This is my second cup of whiskey and my last cup of whiskey for the night. Just prove that I killed it. Kill it on stream.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna read out to this guy. I see Midwest Miniature Guys in there, and he is, or he was in there.
And
but
just,
I like him. So let's
go
go ahead and raid out to this guy. This is Gareth Creedmar. His desk is giving me.
I will see all of you on Wednesday.
Oh, no, he's wrapping up. Never mind.
I continue to paint my Johnson. And I don't know, maybe I will try and plan ahead a little bit.
Never mind, he's wrapping up.
Pic-
Never mind, he's wrapping up. All right. I hate doing this because I hate, like, I don't know enough people to raid out to, so. And I don't really, like, a lot of these people are, like, painting, stuff that I don't know about. But, well, we won't raid out tonight because I don't know any of these people. And I don't know any of the stuff that they're painting. This guy's painting Tau, you. That's a joke. I don't care. But yeah, we'll just I'm gonna just call it a night here. We'll throw out the exit song here, and you cannot play due to my filters. Do I have? What are my filters? Is it not YouTube safe? Is that why it's not letting me do it? If that's the case, then that's a darn shame. I don't have instrumental turned on, so wow. My exit song has been made non-YouTube safe. Sad times. Oh gosh. Guys, I'm sad now. That's not the same song that I always play. It's the only filter that I have on Pretzel is that it has to be YouTube safe. So yeah, so there is a tavern that's no longer YouTube safe. So that's sad. But you know what? Actually, doesn't matter because I don't make any money off of YouTube anyway. So. All right, guys. I'm heading out. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go do my thing for a little while and get some sleep. I hope you guys all have a good evening. I am, and always will be, the Blue Wizard. And I will be back on Thursday with another painting stream. Probably gonna start on some Chaos Warriors, so.
And may the world go well with thee. He left me for a damsel dark, damsel dark. Each Friday night they used to spark, And now my love, once true to me, takes that dark damsel on his knee. Fare thee well, for I must leave thee. Do not let the parting grieve thee. Remember that the best of friends must part, must part. Adieu, adieu, kind friends, adieu, adieu, adieu. I can no longer stay with you, stay with you. I'll hang my harp on a weeping willow tree, and may the world go well with thee. My grave both wide and deep, wide and deep. Put tombstones at my head and feet, and on my breast carve a turtle dove to signify I died of love. Fare thee well, for I must leave thee. Do not let the parting grieve thee. Remember that the best of friends must part, must part. Adieu, adieu, kind friends, adieu, adieu, adieu. I can no longer stay with you, stay with you.